We all have those moments. We know exactly what we should do, right? Pitch that big idea, start that side project, or heck, just get out of bed when the alarm goes off. But then there's that pause, that little gap, that moment of hesitation that just stops us dead in our tracks. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into why that happens and how a simple countdown can literally change everything.
It's that feeling, isn't it? Like you're stuck. You've got the goal, you've got the passion, but your own thoughts kind of build a cage around you, holding you back from just taking that first tiny step. It is so frustrating, but you're not alone. It's universal, and it's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
So let's give this thing a name. Let's call it the hesitation trap. Yeah, that's it. It's that split-second choice we make to just wait, to overthink it, to let doubt creep in. And honestly, it's often the single biggest wall between you and the things you really want. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a quote from Mel Robbins, the person who came up with the very rule we're talking about. This was her life. She was struggling with anxiety, with procrastination, feeling totally paralyzed by her own thoughts. She knew what she needed to do, but she just couldn't. Does that sound at all familiar to you?
So why is hesitation just so darn powerful? Well, the answer isn't that you lack willpower or discipline. It's biology. Your brain is actually wired. It's designed to work against your biggest dreams. And understanding that, really understanding that, is the first step to finally taking back control.
Here's the key thing you have to get. Hesitation is not a character flaw. I'll say it again, it is not a character flaw. It's a survival instinct. Your brain's number one job, its prime directive, is to keep you safe. And anything new, anything uncertain, or slightly uncomfortable, well, that registers as a potential threat. So naturally, your brain slams on the brakes to protect you.
And this, right here, this is the internal tug of war perfectly laid out. On one side, you've got your brain screaming, avoid risk, stay comfortable, don't move. But on the other side, you've got your goals, your ambitions, your personal growth, all of which demand that you move forward, that you embrace a little bit of discomfort. They are in a direct line conflict every single day. Okay, so if our brain's autopilot is the problem, then we need a way to grab the steering wheel and take manual control, right? That is exactly where the 5-second rule comes in. It's an incredibly simple but shockingly powerful tool designed to do just that. It all boils down to this number, 5. 5 short seconds. That's it. That's the window of opportunity you have between the moment you have an instinct to act and the moment your brain swoops in to shut it all down. So here's how you actually use it. The second you have an impulse to do something, to speak up in that meeting, to get off the couch, to start writing that first sentence, you start counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you hit 1, you have to physically move. You just have to. Because if you wait any longer than those 5 seconds, that protective part of your brain will flood you with doubts and excuses and fears, and boom, the impulse is gone. But why does this simple countdown actually work? Well, it's a neat little trick you're playing on your brain. The act of counting backwards forces you to focus. It interrupts that habit of overthinking and worrying. It literally shifts the gears in your brain, moving you out of the what-if zone and into the let's do this zone. You're simply not giving fear enough time to grab hold. You're replacing the habit of hesitation with a new habit, action. All right, so what happens when you start doing this all the time? What are the long-term effects? Well, you don't just get more stuff done.
You actually begin to change the way you see yourself.
Just think about how you can use this like today. That alarm goes off. Instead of hitting snooze, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your feet are on the floor. You're in a meeting and you have a great idea. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're opening your mouth to speak. That dream you have? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're taking one small step. It works on every single scale, from the tiniest daily habits to the biggest life-altering decisions.
You know, this uncovers a huge misunderstanding we all have. We think we need to feel confident before we can take action. But the science shows it's the complete opposite. Action is what builds confidence. Every single time you use the rule and you move, you are casting a vote for a more courageous, more decisive version of you. You're literally rewiring your brain for courage, one 5-second decision at a time.
And this idea isn't new. Tony Robbins puts it so simply. Action is the key. That's it. You can have the best ideas, the most brilliant plans, all the motivation in the world, but without action, they're just thoughts. Action is the engine. It's what makes everything else happen.
This quote from Steve Jobs really gets to the core of what we're talking about. Think about it. The ideas that change the world, they don't come from people who waited until everything was perfect. They come from people who had an instinct, a crazy idea, and they just acted on it, especially when everyone else was hesitating. Oh, and I just love this perspective from Brené Brown because it totally reframes what courage even is. It's not about being fearless. It's about acting despite the fear. And when you think about it that way, the 5-second rule becomes this practical, everyday tool for courage. The courage to just show up, to speak your mind, to let yourself be seen.
So there you have it. We've talked about the trap of hesitation, we've looked at the science behind why our brains do it, and we've uncovered a super simple tool to break free. Now there's only one thing left to do. You gotta put it into practice.
I want you to do this with me. Right now, think of one small thing you've been putting off. I mean it. Maybe it's sending that one email or making a quick phone call or even just clearing off your desk. Whatever it is, I want you to do it as soon as this is over. Just count down from 5 and move. Because when you really think about it, every huge accomplishment, every great success story, every life that's been changed, it all started with a single decision to act. It all started in a 5-second window. So the only real question left is, what are you going to do with yours?